Debbie Indahar Giordano, and we're here with Todd Flesner, co-host today for our show. We're on Channel 26, as you've tuned in, and you've probably seen us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m., or we air on Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. So you can catch us 5 days a week, and the beautiful weather outside, huh?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, so set your DVR if you're not around at those times. So
We're out and about. Actually, we're in the studio shooting today. Apparently, you've brought in a guy that's done some work for you too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had some work done in the kitchen here recently. It turned out gorgeous. I know that a lot of folks who are who either own a home or are looking to sell a home or thinking about buying a home or thinking about how do they make it their own? How do they fix it up?
Absolutely. Personalize it.
Personalize it, absolutely. So I brought in my friend and contractor, Larry Luberto. So welcome, Larry. We're glad to have you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, good. So you're a local contractor, and you specialize in tile, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, great. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into the tile business? How long you been around? And you're a local business, right?
Yes, I am. I got into the tile business, I'd say about 30 years ago. I've been fully licensed and bonded for about 25 years, and I take a lot of pride in my work, and I do have the utmost quality, as you know, Todd. Take a lot of pride in my work. But,
that's quite a specialty, too. Tile, I guess you've got to pick the right tile. You have to design it. It has to all fit, meld, gel. I mean, it's kind of an art.
It is definitely an art. It is a definitely finishing product where you have to definitely, take a lot of processing to it. You just can't install it. You have to take a lot of layout with it, and just take a lot of how can I say,
skill?
Not only skill, but a lot of foreseeing. You just can't just start from one corner and go to the next. You got to make sure you have a good layout.
So you must be able to see the end product and then work your way back to how you begin that.
A lot of people are just taken to start from one corner and go to the next. No, you need to do your centering, know your measurements, your mathematics.
He's talking tile top for us, so we'll have to get to that.
Definitely.
Well, good. Well, how'd you get into the business?
Many years ago, I had a good friend that got me into a shop where I just was a non-union shop, and then I graduated into a union shop, and then eventually I got my contractor's license.
And you're a licensed contractor.
Yes, I am.
So why is that important to be licensed?
So you can guarantee your work. A lot of people want licensed contractors, so they can feel safe and know
That's governed by the state board?
Definitely.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Being fully licensed and bonded is very important.
Okay.
And there's a series of testing, I understand, that goes into being a licensed contractor here in the state of California. So it's not just anybody that can be a contractor.
No. It's a pretty testing test. I mean, you just don't, you have to study for it. It's about a 6-month process of testing. And then you finally take your test and hopefully you pass.
Okay. And as being bonded, what does that mean to a consumer, that they have somebody that's bonded as well?
Well, being bonded means that you are basically insured. Like if a job unfortunately does go bad, then you're definitely bonded, and it will cover a certain amount of dollars on that particular job. Whatever.
All right. Well, Larry, let me ask you. Let's put on the hat of the homeowner. If they're looking for a licensed contractor, what kind of things should they look for in a contractor?
Well, if they wanted to, they can look up your contractor's license and see what your standings are with the Contractor State License Board. And if they were to look up my license, they would see a perfectly clean record, which is hard to come by nowadays. It's hard to keep.
Past references of clients,
Past references
customers?
also, sure. They can call past references. I could give out numbers. I can show pictures. I can.
Oh, you do pictures?
Yeah, I take a lot of pictures of my work.
You're going to do pictures of Todd's kitchen?
I already did.
Oh, nice.
A lot of pictures.
See those. Facebook.
Yeah.
Good. Let's show them.
Yeah, terrific. So, other things, so when people are looking to have a job bid, what sort of things should they be asking their contractor? Things like, does it include all the labor? Are there additional things, add-ons? What sort of,
And that's a good
important
question.
questions?
I would be afraid in hiring a contractor, is that cost fixed or could it be flexible and go up? How does that work?
Usually I like to give a fixed price. I like to know how they want their tile installed. means a lot, and what kind of material am I installing.
And I assume you give them some suggestions. On
I
how to
sure
do
do,
that.
definitely.
Good.
There's, usually there's just a particular way I like to install my tile, and that is in mortar, which really secures my installation. I can guarantee it a lot better by doing that particular kind of installation.
So is there a difference then in terms of the styles of how you install?
No, definitely.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Doing an installation with mortar, with paper and wire, thin set is definitely the way to go. I've seen jobs over 100 years old done in that installation. I've demoed jobs where it's still intact and it's just lasts forever if it's done right. It's just a great installation and it's the way to go.
Well, I know what you can see actually in, in parts of the ancient world where they set tile in mosaics, and those are there thousands of years later still.
Exactly.
So,
Larry, we have a lot of folks that watch this show that are interested in home values. Some people looking at the show and getting ideas on how they can prepare their home for sale. If you were to talk to a potential seller and they needed to do some inexpensive type of repairs or fix up to their bathrooms or kitchen, is there anything you might suggest that they could do outside of just a full custom job like Todd's? Maybe something more on a line of just a visual, a quick fix type of thing?
Well, sure. Actually, ceramics can be inexpensive. It doesn't have to be expensive, but as you can very well know, that with ceramics you can get at the upper end and you can do a lower end, which is still of a quality job too, but it could just be a less expensive tile. Not being a cheap, but just less expensive. So by meaning you can still go on the inexpensive side and not have to spend a whole lot of money doing a remodel, which will definitely make your home worth more.
Yeah, those are the big
Yeah.
selling features in
Sure.
bathrooms and kitchens.
Right.
Entryways.
well, I know like one thing we did in my kitchen, we had nice cabinetry that was there, but we redid tile and put in granite. So that was an inexpensive way of doing a nice upgrade without having to do a full remodel. And so those may be things that folks take a look at as
Right,
well.
right.
Other ways that they might be able to save some costs, but really, bring up the value of their home.
Oh, most definitely.
Here's a good question. Now, these came from Todd. Is there a difference in home center materials versus those through a specialty tile store?
Yes, definitely. Your specialty tile stores, you have to be careful of because they definitely will want to sell you everything.
Okay.
And by doing that, they're going to charge you a lot of money. And your average customer really doesn't know what they're getting themselves into. And especially if they have a lot of money, they're going to be spending a lot of money. So I just, be careful when you get out there. Do your shopping around. I strongly advise get with your contractor first, somebody you can trust, and have them help you along through your remodel.
Okay. Again, this is your advice and your
Yes.
guidance you can give.
Well, I know when you
Very
worked with Cheryl and I, one of the things you said is you went down, you met us down at the rock yard.
Sure.
Oh,
And,
nice.
and we went out and together we looked at slabs of marble that we were going to install in the kitchen. And I know you were very, very helpful to us in pointing out some important things to look at when trying to match granite and slabs and those sort of things. So, I know that's the sort of advice that you give to homeowners is, look at things like graining in your granite, and how is that going to be sliced and diced and put together when it's a finished product.
Sure, the graining and actually looking at the back of the slab for cracking, which you wouldn't see on the surface because it's polished out, and particular tiles that you're going to use, they could be missized or just of poor quality. And then again, the way people install, how are they going to actually install it? That is of the utmost importance, which is going to give its longevity. So, these are things that a good contractor will know, and that's where you have to make sure you do your homework and make sure you have a good contractor in your pocket, which I would say are highly qualified.
Well, I can attest to the quality of the work that you do.
Well, thank you, Tom.
You take a lot of pride in the craftsmanship that you put into that. And you were talking earlier about the design and layout part of that. How do you work with homeowners with that and involve them in that decision process?
by guiding them and giving them your better advice. For me, I've been doing it for quite a while, so most customers will listen to my better advice. But on the other hand, too, people have their own mind made up to what they want. So then you just go along with them and help them along with what they want and what they're doing.
Good, good. What kind of popular trends are you seeing right now?
Right now, I'm seeing a lot of Rustico.
What's that?
They see a lot of tumblestone travertines, natural stones.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I'm seeing just natural stones, travertines, level setting. There's just so much out there right now. A lot of, how can I say, train station style stagger joint. If you know what that means, it's like where you offset your tile installation by like a half a tile, starting with a half a tile and then stagger it. And it's a stagger joint look.
Yeah, sometimes called subway or
subway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's so many. Yeah, it's people are getting very creative nowadays. So it's not
It's
just
popular.
yeah.
I know in my clients that a lot of the homes that the tile is very, very popular right now. Tile floors, so everything seems to be tiled.
And as you were saying earlier, it is an art, and you can get very, very creative with tile, and that's why tile seems to stay in. You never see tile go out. Things come in and things go out, but tile always seems to stay in because you get so creative with it. I love it. I really love my trade.
Yeah, great. And like I said, again, you do great work.
Thank you.
The layout is spot on. I've seen tile jobs before where they're not just set, just right. You can see they're offset just a little bit or don't line up, and your joint lines are right on.
Thank you. Well, I think that's why I'm still where I'm at today, and thank God for that.
So, let's say someone has an interest in learning more about maybe tile options for their home, thinking about upgrading if they're going to go put it on the market, or just updating a look at their home. How might they contact you?
Well,
Phone number?
phone numbers are fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and give it out. Yeah.
My phone number is 408-561-4722. My business name is Luberto's Custom Tile. I believe I do have a web page, and I am also in the phone book.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're a local Milpitas businessman.
Yes, I am.
Yes, very good. Well, Larry, want to thank you very much. We got you a
Oh, wow.
special, you can go get tile dust all over this now.
Okay.
Valley Homes on TV, special Milpitas edition
Well,
t-shirt.
thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, and good luck with your business.
Thank
and
you.
We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
All right, thanks.
Todd.
All right. We'll be right back.
I'll tell you, California is one great state, but it hasn't been a walk in the park. I mean, they call me invasive species. Nice, huh? Or hungry pests. Like I'm some kind of bad guy or something. I mean, do I look invasive? No. You should think of me as a culinary tourist. Yeah, I'm sort of a footloose foodie of your fields and trees. I just want to sample the local fare. Just a taste, really. And I'm not the pushy type. People help me get around, mostly on the things they move and pack. Did you know I'm completely vegetarian? Yeah, very healthy. Hungry pests. Oh, gotta run. I do have a lot of mouths to feed.
The truth is, hungry pests threaten to devour California's trees and agriculture. It's up to each of us to learn to leave hungry pests behind. Go to hungrypest.com and get the facts. A message from the USDA.
Come on! See what I mean?
Through the years, trends and styles may come and go. But the important things remain the same. Generation after generation, consistently there, creating moments and memories to last a lifetime. Like a true friend, the national parks have always been there for you. And now, you can be there for them. Support the National Park Foundation and help protect America's treasured places.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano and Todd Flesner. We're here to do our little wrap-up for the month of April. There's been a lot of real estate. It's funny. Everywhere you go, a restaurant or a friend's home or somewhere, or in the newspaper, the big talk is real estate right now.
There's a lot of buzz. Absolutely.
A lot of buzz going on.
Absolutely.
But loans, you are the loan man. You kind of wave the magic wand and make the loans happen. So let's talk about what's going on in the loan business right now.
Well, it's a little bit like sausage making. You don't want to know about what happens in the background because there are a lot of details with loans. And, as we've been talking, as folks know from the media, it's a tight credit market, right? And, what does that mean? Banks are really looking very closely at who do they lend to. We've talked about that if you have good credit and good income and those sort of things and good equity, you can get a loan these days, and it's not too bad of a process. But I want to talk about a couple of things I've really been seeing in trends here recently about underwriting and what sort of things are banks looking at. Okay. So bank statements right now are a big deal.
Wow.
All right.
How far back do they need
Well,
them?
we always get 2 months at least of bank statements to show current assets. So that's to look at the down payment, to make sure we have those funds there. Some loans require reserves.
So if funds are coming from another source, you want to make sure those are in your bank, ready, available for that down payment.
Terrific, yeah, exactly. However, banks are also really looking closely at the details of your bank statements today.
Really?
And they're really looking closely at where does every dollar that comes into your bank account originate from, and they need to be able to source those funds. So if you have a normal paycheck and are getting paid every couple of weeks and there's direct deposit, no problem. All right, but let's say you had a birthday and you got some money that came in for that.
Like a great aunt that gave you a $100,000 birthday gift.
Exactly.
You never know.
Yeah, or even $5,000. And that cash deposit shows up on your bank account. The bank is going to want to know what the source of that deposit was, and you're going to be able to have to provide that explanation and then the source for that. So like the canceled check, for instance, or a check stub that would demonstrate where those funds came from. Or if you did a garage sale, demonstrate that in fact is where those funds came from. They're really looking at clamping down. This is the front lines of the war on terror and where the source of funds coming from and money laundering. And so the banks are really, really looking at those sort of things. And it doesn't mean you can't have those sort of things in your account.
I would think, just correct me if I'm wrong, probably the regulations are coming from the feds. They're wanting to regulate what goes on to try and kind of curtail some of this outside illegal activity, I guess.
Yeah, we want to ensure that all the funds are legitimate funds.
Okay.
All right. And if you're self-employed, that's fine. But oftentimes self-employed people pay themselves. They might be paying themselves from a corporation, or they've had invoices that they've submitted for contracting work, and so having the proper documentation to support that is important. So just know the banks are going to ask for that.
So if a borrower wants to get their loan, then I'm assuming they get to you first, so you can go ahead and look at those bank statements rather than wait till the last minute and having the lender do that. You do all that pre-review process and get that buyer ready for when they need to produce that documentation.
Exactly. We talk about all those issues.
That's
I
great,
look at
Todd.
that and try to prepare.
Because I'm getting the buyers, they're already pre-approved, and so you're doing all that legwork. So.
Well, like I said, that's the sausage-making part of giving the loan, and knowing what the details are that we have to take care of, and trying to help people understand those sort of things.
Okay.
Another thing that right now is we're right after tax season. All right, and if you need to use your 2012 income to qualify for the new loan, let's say you got a raise, or you're self-employed and you had a good year last year, well, we have to be able to validate those returns with the IRS.
Okay.
And it's taking the IRS 6 or 8 or even more weeks longer from the time you filed your return.
You don't even you need to know, the IRS has to
validate what you turned in with your returns.
In other words, just what you produce as a copy won't work. It has to be actual.
Right. I'll need your actual copy of your tax returns, but we're also going to validate that with the IRS that matches.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So it's taken, a couple months sometimes.
So
you
don't want people putting in bogus tax returns,
well,
which it's been in the past.
Yes, exactly. So that's being validated. But also, if you're looking to buy a home now, and again, if you need that income to qualify, you need to know that up front so that you're not at the last minute
Good.
waiting for that validation
Okay.
and waiting for the IRS to be able to process your return.
Excellent.
So,
And you had something about FHA?
yeah, there's some major changes coming up to FHA.
What's going on there?
Well, FHA has always been the low down payment option for folks.
3% down.
3.5% down up to $729,000 loan
Nice.
amount. So, yeah, you don't have to have a lot of cash saved up. But there are a couple things that are changing with FHA come June.
Okay.
The mortgage insurance requirement is going up. So the factor for the premium is going to be more. So it's a little bit more expensive on a monthly basis. A couple other things with mortgage insurance that used to be the case. It used to be that once you paid down your loan sufficiently, where you had at least 20% equity in your property, you could get mortgage insurance to go away. Mortgage insurance with an FHA loan now is going to become a permanent thing.
Wow.
All right, so it's going to be for the life of the loan.
Well, I guess the borrower could get in with the FHA, wait a year or two, and maybe refinance the property.
That's a possibility. All right, but for as long as you have that FHA loan, it's going to
Interesting.
have mortgage insurance on it for the life of the loan now.
And what used to be, I think, when the values went up, you could actually get a new appraisal and get and then petition FHA and get that, show that there's plenty of equity there, at least
Correct.
20% equity, and then get the
Right.
mortgage
So for new
insurance done.
FHA loans after June
Okay.
of 2013,
know.
that mortgage insurance becomes a permanent thing.
Okay.
Also, assumability. FHA loans have always been assumable.
Yes.
All right, that's going to change as well. They're going
I'll
to
be
become
darned.
non-assumable. So if you had an FHA loan prior to 2013 in June, let's say you got one last month, and you have a very nice low rate, in the threes, and you want to sell your home in the future, that was always a very attractive selling feature, that you had a 3.5% loan that could be assumed by somebody else. That won't be the case any longer after June with FHA loans.
Okay.
They're non-assumable.
All right.
So big changes there.
Big changes.
They're still a good option for folks, but important to know those things.
So what are current rates right now? Where we at?
Current rates were in the threes, still about 3.5% for 30-year fixed rate conforming loan. Conforming jumbo up to 625 is in the high threes, about 3.75.
Nice.
Very, very low rates. They are historically low yet. Makes real estate affordable. Also, we're going to talk in a moment here about values of homes, and they're on the rise. I'm seeing a lot of people now who are able to take advantage of refinancing because their home values are up.
Good.
In the
good.
last
so
couple
they
years,
can check with you on that also.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about values.
Yeah, let's
they
talk
are
about-
going through the roof, and we predicted this, didn't we? Here's an article in the San Jose Mercury just a few days ago. Home prices soar in buyer bidding wars.
Yep.
So what we've seen is not only supply and demand, but and supply is so low and been low for about the last year, but the amount of buyers that have come out since January of this year have just thrown the prices through the roof.
Well, we were talking earlier. Your open house this
on
last
Sunday
weekend?
had 100, over 100. That's a record. And 34 years in the business, I've never had that many. 100, and then 11 offers, and the property went 120,000 over the asking price.
Incredible.
So let me tell you what the numbers look like in Milpitas that we can put up on the screen for these folks. In March of 2012, so last year, average home price in Milpitas was $531,000, and the median price was $460,000. It has now jumped to March of 2013. Average price is $741,000. Median price is $678,000.
Wow.
And March 2012 for a condo townhouse, average price $292,000. Median price $245,000, and that has risen to an average price of $383,000 and $370,000 for a median price condo townhome. So we're seeing leaps and bounds right now, and I think it's just this pent-up fueling of buyer, the demand. It's just finally escalated into finally the housing price. So folks that have been waiting a year or two to put their properties on the market are now coming back into the marketplace,
Right.
and they're very, very happy.
And it sounds like we're seeing that the price both in the single-family homes and the condo market, as we've been watching this over time. It looks like the condo market had been trailing single-family homes,
It had been.
but it's caught up.
It's caught up, though in Milpitas we're seeing still a lot of new construction, so I don't know how much that will impact the used condo market, which we track. But certainly single-family detached homes, they're like little gems right now in Milpitas.
So, well, with low rates, it's still a good time to get in, before prices continue to go up. Right.
We just don't know, do we?
No, we certainly don't. But we appreciate folks tuning in. We hope that the information we provide is timely, topical, and of interest to you.
I hope so. And Todd, we'll see you next. We're going to the Humane Society for a taping of a show.
We do. We're going to look at the puppies and the kittens, and they've got a big event coming up that we're going to share with folks here in Milpitas.
Nice. Well, that's a nice new facility. I think it's only been in the city about 3 or 4 years, opened up. So
it'd be great to visit with them.
We'll go visit with them. And Todd, go ahead and give your contact information.
Phone 408-921-0669, or email is tflesner, first initial and my last name, at gm, like Great Mortgage, west.com.
Nice. And I'm at Giordano, Giordano, DJ at AOL.com. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time as you watch Valley Homes on TV.
Thanks for joining us.